Hello guys, welcome to my network pen testing demo where I am going to show you how to find uh, what kind of applications and operating system running on remote server, which is our target for pen test. So let me open the uh, Kali Linux. Here in Kali Linux, I'm going to show you how to uh, do pen test using kalilinux. So here we are going to use nmap command with -o, which is used for finding the operating system type, -s and v to find out application running on open ports on target, and -a means whatever the scripts are available for particular open port or particular service, it will run with this command to find more details about the services and uh, ports. So let's start with nmap -o small s capital V -a and 192.168.122.4, which is our target, which is metasploitable to VM, and we are going to find what is running on this server. So let's me start this let's run this command. So let me show you the VM which is on which these services are running, means 192.168.122.4, which VM it is. So it's metasploitable to this VM. This is the VM. If you see fconfig command, you can find this is the same IP. This is the uh, VM on which we are trying to run nmap. So let's do su from, yeah, it's a root if config more, and you can see IP is the last one, ETH2 Ethernet card 192.168.122.4. It's a metasploitable VM. We can check host name with hostname command, and you can see metasploitable VM. Let's go to the our nmap command, and let's check what it gave the output. So let's me maximize this nmap command's output. You can see here this is these are the services running on nmap, sorry, on host server 192.168.1.22.4, and here you can see vsftpd 2.3.4 version is running. Apart from ftp, user is allowed on this uh, server, and you can also use anonymous FTP login on this server. Apart from, there are different services are running on 23 port, 25 port, means telnet and SMTP, SSL certificate name, SSL certificate uh, algorithms which allowed on this server, and there is RPC info, RPC services running on this machine is given also here. You can see here different services like NFS, other services, IPC, RPC bind, RPC bind, sorry, Mount D, NFS lock manager. So you can see here different other different services also, TCP wrapped, then rlogin D, then MySQL, then ProFTPD, then NFS. Apart from, there are VNC also there, X11 is also there. You can get all the details of all the service which is running on this remote machine, which is our target. So let's first check whether any vulnerability exists on any of this server. So let's start with vsftpd and its version, and let's check whether it has any vulnerability. Is there any CVE? CVE means any vulnerability with this version, which you can find with CVE. So let's open Google and put vsftpd 2.3 and find CVE. CVE is a one kind of specific name or specific exploit applicable to this service, and it's a unique. It has lots of there is a remote there is mitra.org where or cvdetails.com has all the details of all the hacks till date, and it's identified uniquely with CVE number. So let's see here. We can find CV 20112523 vsftp 2.3.4 and site is cvdetails.com, which I am going to open. So you can see that. So here you can see CVE name for this particular hack, which is on vsftpd 2.3.4 version. So let's check whether we have an exploit for this. So for that we have to start MSF console, means metasploit console. So let's start metasploit console and check whether we have this CVE exploit with metasploit. So let's search with vsftpd 2.3.4 2.3.4 and check. Yeah, we have exploit. So we have to use this exploit and check whether we are able to exploit it or not. So let's use this exploit using use command. Now we have to check options which this exploit required. So here payload is there, R port and R host. So we have to set this all parameters. So first we put the payload. Payload is nothing but give us the cell from remote server where this vulnerable server is running. So let's set payload. Payload. Let's first find payload for this hack, this exploits. So we have to use so payload command for that. Payloads command. You can see here we have a payload. This payload cmd unix interact, and we are going to use this payload. So for that we have to set the payload. Set payload and put this payload path and set it. Now again we have to check so options whether anything is missing in this exploit. So we have to put R host here. R host is nothing but our target. So we have to set the R host, our vsftp server's IP, which is 192.168.122.4. Let's see again with so options whether anything is missing or not. So you can see here it's all options is filled. R host is filled. R port yani R port means 21 port, which is FTP vsftp port, and we have payload cmd interactive unix interactive. Let's exploit. So you can see here it started, it found the cell on the remote server where vsftp vulnerability is there. Now we have got session command cell session 1 is open. You can see here. Let's check host name of this remote server where we exploited and we got the cell. So it's a metasploitable too. It's a metasploitable, right? This is our remote server where which we exploited due to using a vsftp vulnerability. So let me show you the host name of kalilinux, so you can identify we are on the we exploited remote server and we found its host name metasploitable. So let's check host name of this kalilinux. It's a kali 2002. So the host name or command is running on the remote metasploitable host, which is exploited using a metasploit console. Let's create one directory and check whether same thing is reflected on the remote server. Let's create directory testing. Let's create directory testing hack vsftpd 1 vsftpd and today's date. Today's date is the 14th April 2023, and let's see. So you can see the directory is created here. Let's see on remote machine which is exploited and check whether it has such directory. So this is the machine metasploitable host name is metasploitable, and you can see here ls and the root directory, and you can find testing hack vsftp April 2023, which is created from metasploit hacking. So let me do the test. Let me do ls minus ld. Let me go to the root and then ls minus ld testing hack. Yeah, you can see here this directory is created and it's just a few minutes back. So our this hacking session for Metasploit is completed. Let's dig into the IDS pen test. And for IDS pen test, I'm going to use two terminals. Uh, First terminal will be our our first terminal will be our CentOS IDS IDS snort, and we are going to check the logs of IDS whether it's detect attack or not. So there is alert file, alert full, and it should record our hack if it has signature for particular hack which we are going to do. So I'm going to open another terminal of kalilinux, and this is kalilinux. So let me maximize this. If we can maximize, okay, no problem. Let's log in and check. Let's do sudo su and become the root. Now you can see the Kali Linux in red. Now I am going to use scapy for this hack, and before that I am going to show you the file which has packet generation for this hack. So scapy is used basically to generate any kind of packet, and it can inject such packet in the network. So here you can see this packet which I'm going to inject, and let me copy this packetcraft related material. So I'm going to start scapy. So let's put this command in which this P is a one kind of packet, and IP is uh, we are creating IP packet with ID 669, destination with 192.168.122.6, which is IDS node. Then ICMP packet which we are going to create is ICM is a different types, and we are using ICMP type 0 and sequence number 0, and ID is 669, and this bsecond is our payload, which is binary payload. And let's see whether this de denial of service kind of crafted packet will identify by IDS or not. So let's first create let's create a packet with p command, p equal to ip command, and let's send it with send command, send p, and let's see whether this snort IDS detect this crafted malform packet. So let's send p. One packet is sent. You can see here this is detected. This is attempt of denial of service crafted packet which is identified by IDS, and this packet was sent from kalilinux scapy program. So this was our today's session. This was just a demo to show you that how actually IDS pen test and nmap and how network hacking and exploit works. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let's end this